Okay, I've been working on the P90 project at the magazines, and I've also now at this time, a moment of time, I worked on the ETHA 1 model and turn that into a bullpup and let's say P90. In case you don't want to use the P90 magazines for some reason, I can imagine if you already have a lot of TPX magazines and feel more that they are more reliable, things like that. There is a way to also just use, let's say, the bullpup kit, or even without the bullpup kit, and use the TPX magazines a little bit like a P90. And then that's what I want to show right now. So yeah, then you got something like this. Since you don't have to mount it in the front and lock it back, the hook is removed. This is also because the P90 magazine and TPX 12 round magazines are basically the same length. The 12 round is even a little bit longer. So you get in trouble with when you still have the hook there. Especially since you need to put it in like this and not like so. So it really needs to be removed. If you would really like to have the hook there, or then you could use only the 7 rounders, and they still have room because it's short, of course. But yeah, this is how it would look with the 7 rounder. Kinda maybe funny, but maybe also a good thing to keep in mind is when you press the button and you would not hold the magazine, they will fly. This time it still stays on the marker, but yeah, it will jump out on you. So this one is a little bit more heavy since it's a bigger magazine, but yeah, and of course as hit the mag you would activate that. But yeah, that's how it would look. So it's still the same, let's say, compactness as on P90. It's nothing sticking out, things like that. Of course, the reloading style is different, and yeah, in my opinion, it looks less nice because this is a little bit strange that it ends right here. But at the same time, it gives you, for your mask, more space to kind of look over it. So ergonomically speaking, it's nothing wrong with it, and you can exit it with both hands. The button is just on the top, so you can just press that one and take the magazine out. Of course, inserting the magazine will work on both sides as well. And again, when you want to release it, this one don't jump out, I've noticed. But with the small one it does. But yeah, that's really it when it comes down to it. And yeah, that's basically all the things I can tell about it. But I can show you how it would be with if you really want to have the P90 thing, I will show that is not an option really. It will fit in combination with this thing, but really when you want to use it, it's totally ridiculous. It will not be functional. So you really have to use it like this, without any idea to want to mount a sight on it. Otherwise it will be just in the way, because you need to have access at this point to grab the magazine, insert it. So you cannot have a mount to have a sight. So if you just want to use, and of course it only works with round ball. It's also a good thing to say for some people. That will be not obvious. So you will just look at how the paintballs fly in the air, like you do with normal paintball. But yeah, that's really it. And at this moment, it's only made for the ETHA 1. Of course, for in my opinion at least, when you got the MG100, why would you want to use the TPX magazines like that on top of that if you already got a magazine platform below? If you don't want to use the 3D printed P90 magazines, in my opinion, just use them the die or the Planet Eclipse magazines below, because then you can just remove all this let's say shit on top and just attach some, let's say, red dot sight, something like that, if you want to do that. Or if you don't want to do it, just leave it all let's say bare without anything on top, and it's nice low profile. So that's not why I'm not really motivated to make something for the AMG 100. If some people are really like, no, I really want to have the mounting point so it'll properly fit on the rails of the MG100, then I can make that, of course. But yeah, otherwise I will not really do that. I don't really see that people would be interested in that. But yeah. And if you're wondering why this looks so strange, I had first made it more like a P90, that this part is rounded, but it looks so odd. I changed the design and I kind of updated my model with just an iron by melting away that piece of plastic and move it a little bit around. So it looks a bit funny. But yeah, I promise you, it looks already a little bit better than how it was before. So this is how it would look with, let's say, the hook on front for the normal P90s. But as you can see, then it's impossible to put the longer magazines inside. So like I pointed out before, the smaller ones you still can, and then they will fly against the hook. So maybe kind of preventing a mechanism, but I don't really see a reason why you would do that, to have this and just use small magazines of 7 rounds if you have longer ones. But it can be done if you want to do that. And yeah, this is with, let's say, the P90 riser on it. Let's put it that way. Besides the collar, okay, you can still fit the TPX magazine inside. Then put it backwards and lock it in place. And then you got some option to use, let's say, a red dot or something, or some lights on it. When you release it, in this case doesn't really want to fly out, but yeah, you can remove it from the side. There's also maybe a way to install the magazine, so from the side and lock it in there. But so as you can see, it doesn't really make any sense unless you really like the P90 look with the riser on top and go for that thing. But you can definitely see it will hinder your performance in reloading, definitely. Maybe this looks most like a P90, but still you have to put it in backwards then. Probably if you go like it in this way, and then slide it in like that. That's a little bit fast, I guess. But it's not doesn't really make any sense. But I will show it just in case somebody wonders and really wants that. So yeah, so this is how it would look when it is more like, let's say, a normal setup without the bullpup kit. So you got enough space for your hands to hold, like you would expect. This case I got like the X7 buttstock adapter on it, but you can also imagine when you use an air tank it's pretty much the same. Yeah, you can still reach. You have to kind of make a big movement to get the magazine in, but nothing too bad. Especially if you hold it a little bit more closer by, it's less bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes down to that. And of course, still you can use it in both hands. That's not a problem. But yeah, it will definitely look different when you use it like this. How do you install this? This adapter kit on your ETHA one? It's pretty simple. It's just all moved from the front to the back, and it's just hold in place with a few bolts, 2 for each piece, and basically the front one only on the shroud with one. This block, it will help depending on the barrel to kind of make it more stable. But this block is especially for when you use the bullpup kit. that this becomes kind of one solid piece with the lower, so it becomes stronger. So in this configuration, as you can see in this case, you get a little bit of wobble. You can prevent this. You could also say, yeah, well, then you need to change the size of it, but it's really strange. It depends on the print angle you use, or if it will be tight or not. It kind of depends how you put it on your print bed. So I've decided to go differently about fixing it. And it's up to you if you find that a good solution or not, but it works for me, let's say. So to basically remove this part, you can just remove only this bolt at the front, and you can slide it with this piece still in one piece. Remove it. If you want to remove the lower block, just remove the bolt at the front. I think you will get that one. Of course, normally there are 2 bolts. I now only done it with 1 just for demonstration. But yeah, remove that one. And of course, if you want to do it in reverse, I think it will make sense how to do it. Then you do it in reverse. You can just slide this one off, and you can see that one is a little bit tighter. So it's the same settings, and then it becomes different. Because this one was printed in this direction and this was laying down like this, so it gets looser. So really, that's probably the biggest question. How do you finish this part? Now this one is already been made, so it's a little bit hard to see, but you got only this small piece. That's really the only moving part. So, and you maybe can see, I don't think so. Yeah, you can see the spring underneath this part. So that's of course the part that will keep this part from push it still up every time. So of course you'll put the spring in there, then you put this piece on it. And what I've done this time, and there's a kind of new system I go with, is just using a piece of filament that's unused. Put it inside of there and use something that's hot, like an iron, and melt that one nice and flush with the body. If you use the same color and things like that, then you will notice yeah, nothing really from it. It's nice and hidden, and yeah, well, it's a solid piece of plastic. Yeah, it's pretty strong. In case you really want to have it like it's in metal, of course you can buy some metal rod and put it inside of there like I used to do. But for now I kind of like this system, so I use just an iron and just melt it in place. But there's also a reason I picked this one up, is if you don't want pieces to kind of move, just use the iron and kind of put some stippling, let's say, so in this case some lines, on the grooves. So what you basically will do is you make this pattern inside. I hope it will focus on it. So on both angles it works best if you do it. If you do it on this side and the other side, then it kind of gives it just a little bit more grip and it prevents it from moving around. So in this case I could have done it also with this one. Just put it here, some patterns, and on the other side, on the top and bottom, let's say. And then it will prevent it from, let's say, moving around. Gives it a little bit more grip. And you don't have to go overboard with it, just a little bit. That it curls a little bit of plastic up, so it gives it a little bit, yeah, more friction, you could say. So maybe the first time it's a little bit hard to do. Also, if you do it a lot of times, you may start wearing out the plastic again. Those little lines of plastic, it may start to happen again. But it helps definitely a lot, so you don't have parts sliding around and things like that. yeah, I hope that helps, and see you guys for the next video about the different things of this project.